Okay, it's time now for some business news. And Stephen Carroll joins me on set. Good morning to you, Stephen.
Hello, Thomas.
And you're starting with the Geneva Motor Show, which opens its doors today.
That's right. The annual event is an opportunity for car makers to showcase their newest models. This year, there's an air of optimism around the European car market, in particular, where sales have continued to rebound after their slump hit a low in 2013. Well, to get an idea of how things are looking for the year ahead, let's go to Geneva. We can speak to Trevor Mann, who's Chief Performance Officer at Nissan. Trevor, thank you for joining us today from Geneva. Is that a fair assessment? Are people feeling optimistic there?
I think so. It's still very early in the day here, but there is quite a buzz around, and I think generally, on the back of a relatively strong 2015 for the industry, that there is a bit of a buzz, and you can feel the momentum a little bit.
Now, the sales did increase last year. Nissan was a little bit behind trend in Europe in terms of sales growth. Are you losing ground to your competitors there, do you think?
No, I think on the contrary. I think we've grown steadily throughout the year. If you look in the EU, we've become the #1 Asian brand in 2015. Something that we've been working towards for a long time. The sales of the Nissan Qashqai and the Nissan Leaf have also still been very popular. So I think we grew along with the market. We were one of the fastest growers at the 3/4 point in the year, and I think we're looking forward to a very strong 2016 also.
And what sections of the market are you seeing that growth in for this year?
I think we're seeing a little bit in Southern Europe, so we saw recovery in Spain and Italy. France and the UK were also very, very strong markets for the industry and also for us.
Now, of course, low oil prices, a very useful fact for your industry, for those cars that are using more petrol. Are you worried that could damage sales, though, of your electric models? The Leaf has been very successful, but things tailing off towards the end of last year.
Yeah, things for the Leaf came slowed down towards the end of last year because we've just launched at the beginning of this year the new Nissan Leaf with a 25% autonomous range increase. So I think there was a bit of slowdown, people anticipating for the new model. We've got very strong order bank for the new model, and we're looking forward to that. And one thing we've got to remember, obviously people talk about low oil prices, but cheap oil doesn't pollute any less than expensive oil. And I think in order for society and administrations to achieve its overall emissions, we need alternative fuels, alternative fuel driven vehicles, and the Nissan Leaf is a good example of that.
Of course, that move towards autonomous vehicles, something that everyone's pushing for. Where is Nissan in that race?
Well, we've been working on autonomous vehicle technology for a long time. We've talked a number of years ago about Nissan Safety Shield. We've got the around view monitors, so we've got the cameras and the technology already proven on some vehicles. We've announced together that we will introduce 10 vehicles over the coming years that have autonomous drive technology. And what we're calling AD1 or piloted drive, we'll see on our first vehicles in Europe in 2017.
And in terms of the regulation on that issue, are you feeling that you're making progress with regulators to get those cars on the roads?
Well, I think so, but of course we also believe a step-by-step approach is required, and that is what we've been working towards. So our first step will be in 2017, which we're calling autonomous drive 1 or piloted drive. This means that you can have highway traffic jam control, so this would allow you to have a hands-free situation in a freeway that was a single lane in a traffic jam, and not worry about the stop-start and potentially crashing into the vehicle in front. Following that would be what we're calling AD2, which will allow again on motorway or highway drive to overtake the car in front on your programmed destination. And then by 2020, we would have intersection control, if you like, which would allow you to drive autonomously within the cities. But of course, there's a lot of building blocks need to go in place to make that happen. So I believe a step-by-step approach is required and is important.
Okay, that's something we'll be keeping an eye on. Trevor Mann, Chief Performance Officer at Nissan, thank you for joining us this morning from the Geneva Motor Show.
Okay, Stephen, let's move on. How do the markets look this morning?
We've seen European shares opening down, banks leading the falls across European markets today. Barclays in London seeing some of the biggest falls. They're down almost 4% after reporting a full year loss of around 500 million euros. Not good news either for the mining and trading company Glencore. They swung from a pre-tax profit in 2014 of over 4 billion to losses of 8 billion last year. That's not helping things for them either. Over in Asia, we'd seen a boost from China's central bank helping Asian markets earlier. The Shanghai Composite, you can see there, finishing up over 1%. That's despite downbeat surveys of Chinese manufacturing and the service industry too.
Okay, Stephen, thank you very much for that business update this morning.